report that deals with all of this and shows you how they're spinning it as, oh, this virus goes in and boosts your brain. No, the virus goes in and literally, depending on which vaccine it is, creates plaques or attacks the receptor sites. I've read the patents on these, okay? That's the facts. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange Home Gain Gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com. Check them out today. Listen up, friends. This is Alex Jones with key information. The mainstream media is now admitting that we're going into a depression. Don't be dependent on the government for you and your family. You need to get your own supply of high-quality storable foods from eFoodsDirect.com. They're the best company out there, the longest continually operating, with a ton of great food to choose from. It's all fresh, made on a monthly basis, not some old cruddy food they're selling you like some of the other guys. Try their new Evacuation Pack, a 2-week supply of delicious, easy-to-fix food. It comes with all the equipment you need to prepare it. With open talk of a strike on Iran in the next 3 months, the crisis in the Gulf, and possible evacuations, get yourself and your family ready today. The place to go is eFoodsDirect.com. Go to their website online right now, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex, or call 800-409-5633. Again, on the web, eFoodsDirect.com/Alex, or give them a call at 800-409-5633.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, 2 wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films. I'll tell you the good news about this individual, Jonah Lehrer. It goes on to say that he researches psychology and brain sciences, neuroscience, and the relationship between science and humanities. He is a Rhodes Scholar, which is set up to establish world government. I mean, I guess he'd try to deny that. The good news is his column section is called the frontal cortex, the main thing the globalists are targeting with all these chemicals and drugs. Wired magazine, he's come out and attacked me, and I'm reading the comments. Every comment I've read points out, hey, Alex Jones shows all the articles where there's New York Times, they want to put lithium in the water. Alex Jones shows other articles where they admit that they do have vaccines that go in and attack the brain. This was one thing we mentioned, and in the quotes by the scientist, he says it'll make you calm and happy. You won't get angry anymore, which is what the lithium they say they want to put in the water is for. So you'll submit to all this. So the great news is, it's incredible that almost every comment here people are pointing out I mean, everybody's attacking him. He says, by the way, your cowardice in not presenting Alex's video and trusting your readers to think for themselves is an indication of your overall character as a human being. Also, the ad hominem against Alex with which you end your polemic article rather than increase your credibility. Does it increase your credibility? And just every one of them, almost every one of these commenters comes out and attacks him. So the good news is everybody's going to look into brain-eating vaccines because they say it cognitive enhancement. Oh, it changes your brain. It changes your brain's DNA. Yeah, viruses are going in and attacking receptors, especially, just search the term. I had all the articles here. They're in my stack from yesterday. I'll pull some of them out and go back over them again, but they're in my videos as well that we've posted at Infowars.com. Where it, and I'm sorry I'm reading this here on air. I just got the article and just finished reading it over the break and now here on air. It's just so mind-blowing, incredibly mind-blowing to read all of the government patents and university patents and scientific patents where they say, we're going to cure you of drug use. And then you read the patents, the viruses go in and attack the receptors that would take up the opiates or the nicotine or the cocaine. Well, those receptors are there for a reason. Sure, you can take a drug to manipulate them, but the receptors are there to uptake endorphins. You're supposed to be angry and passionate and full of life. They're trying to make you a bunch of servile jellyfish. And it's all over the news they want to do that. So they can't have their cake and eat it, too. They can't say, oh, there's no world government, and then call for world government like George Monbiot does all the time. They can't have it both ways. And he goes on to say that I will not link to Alex's video. Yeah, he doesn't want you to see it. He doesn't want you to see what I actually said. He wants to build a straw man about what I've said. I want to have this guy on, Jonah Lerner, or Lear, however you pronounce his name. Let's go to Paul Watson briefly. Watson, I've got you back up. I know you're going out for a bit, but when you come back, I want you to do a report dissecting this guy, but with a key headline. And I already had asked you to do an overall report on this, just showing how the Pentagon says they're going to test this on the troops, not just this vaccine, but many others, how the Gardasil killed people, how these new generation of live viruses go in and do create plaques into the receptor sites so that you can't absorb the aggression triggering hormones or, quote, drugs. They're saying it's bad that we have these hormones. So let's go ahead and talk to Watson briefly about this. Watson, do you basically get what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is just today there's another article in Wired News that talks about how the Army are going to be injected with a vaccine that alters their DNA. So this kind of stuff's going on. It's being proposed for us. But now it's a conspiracy theory, according to this Wired writer. I mean, you've got the White House science czar saying sterilize people by putting, sterilants in the water supply. And I suppose that's a conspiracy theory as well.
And suddenly there's literally hundreds of publications pushing literally hundreds of new vaccines that go in with viruses. And what do viruses do? They kill tissue, literally going in to alter our brains. And then he quotes here, he says, now for the bad news. Apparently, one of the most popular Google trend searches for August 3rd was brain-eating vaccine. And he goes on to quote that the Daily Mail did take 400 words out of his article interviewing the scientist and said to create a vaccine that will eliminate feelings of stress. I was quoting the interview. Based on the Mail article, the kind of people who are worried about world governments are conspiring to sterilize and or pacify the populations of their drugs in water supplies conclude that the scientist is working to rid us of our emotions via his vaccine project. Well, that's what it said. It said we've got hormones in us that make us upset and aggressive and anxiety, and this will cure that with a virus that goes in and attacks the receptors. And then he goes on to say, well, the vaccine could be used, you know, to help rats that have had strokes. Well, whatever. We quoted what the scientist and the writer said that was their main rollout and saying, oh, the public will be able to get this soon. Like it was the new Wonder Toy or the new Christmas toy or the new widget everybody's got to have. Well, I mean, Watson, isn't this good news, though, that we've drawn them out to attack us now?
Well, the thing about it is he implies that proposals to put lithium in the water supply are also fictional, mythical, conspiracy-noid, you know, fantasies. When that's what the Japanese talked about. It was in the BBC. It's linked to in our original article. Lithium in water curbs suicide. And they said that large-scale trials involving the addition of lithium to drinking water may be feasible. So
well, Jonah Lear, or Lear, however you pronounce it, this guy is a bioethicist. He studies neuroscience and psychology that we said is taking over regular medical science, and he's a Rhodes Scholar. I mean, it's on record Cecil Rhodes created South Africa and Rhodesia. It's on record that Cecil Rhodes wanted a world government and recruited people like Bill Clinton and others. I mean, his system did. I mean, this guy's incredible.
Well, he's obviously a protege of the elite. I mean, he's an Oxford graduate, he's a Rhodes Scholar, and he's coming out with this kind of stuff.
And one of his fellow travelers, the Oxford bioethicist, came out this week and called for lithium in the water and Prozac in the water. I mean, they're all over the place, and he's saying he knows nothing about it. We're crazy, Paul. The naked body scanners aren't being stored, even though it's now admitted.
Well, as he said, it's a straw man. It's a playground insult article. You know, it's what, 4 or 5 of paragraphs that he's written, and it's just a puff piece. So, good luck with it. But as he said, all the comments, well, the majority of them at least see right through it.
Man, I tell you, Paul, this is incredible. This is just amazing. Well, listen, I want you to do I know you do it as quickly as you can, a basic piece just full of links and documentation. I've read the patents and of these vaccines. He's claiming I'm just talking about this vaccine. Now, I was going off the headline saying, oh, it'll make you not get upset or angry anymore. Oh, it's going to be so wonderful. Now he's trying to spin that, but that's what they say this is for. It's the countless ABC, CBS, CNN about vaccines to cure drug addiction. And then if you just search the term vaccine to cure drug addiction, viral plaques or viruses plug up neuroreceptors. That's how they spin it. When you actually read the patents, and I'll try to search these and send them to you to help you with the research, because I've read them over the years. I mean, imagine these viruses go in and literally attack neurons, but they're saying, well, it's not good that you get upset. And so we're going to reprogram. This is cognitive enhancement. Just like CBS News says, mercury is a cognitive enhancer helping children behave better. See how they spin it? Brain damage is now behavior. Brain damage is now helping.
Yeah, and these ones to stop drug addiction, as you said, all about stopping things from reaching receptors in your brain. So how can that be anything else than altering the very structure of your brain? That's exactly what these vaccines are about.
It's amazing. We've got Michael Coffman coming up, but we may have to back him up a little bit to the last 40 minutes because I was on Mancow show, which is on over 200 stations this morning, and he's seen the articles in the news about, you know, how they're drugging the water, what the vaccines are doing, and he really had a good rant breaking it down, how he can see the public's already been brain damaged, and I wanted to get him briefly on. He's scheduled to call in any time. We got Coffman coming up, loaded phones as well. But Watson, just do a good job and point out that he did a straw man, that we did quote what he said, what the scientist said, and that it's this whole family of vaccines. And the other Wired article about troops, and how they're going to test shots where there's over 100 vaccines per injection and how they go in and alter the brain. I mean, this is serious business, and they want to just come out like they roll everything out like it's for your safety and it's good. We're here at the inception. I've known about this for a decade, preemptively blowing their program to bits. And so I hope listeners realize this is the big issue. God bless you, Watson. What's the ETA on the article?
A couple of hours, probably.
So by like 4 o'clock Central?
Yeah.
We're counting.